This season does not have that many isekai fantasy anime to give you. Most of the noticeable ones are sequels. But since I have watched every anime of this season, so you know I'm credible, here are the 5 best isekai fantasy anime of this very season. But just notice that this list will not include sequels. This list will only have new anime. So on the number 5th, we have Himekishiwa Parbaroi no Yome. This anime is certainly not the best one. It isn't even that good. When you start this anime, the anime does not give you that many interesting things. First we have our Kishi-chan, which then fights the barbarian, loses, then barbarians take her, and now she is going to become the wife of the barbarian leader type of person. And that does not really get you interested. That does not really make you go, wow, this is good. You just go, okay. But for me, the thing that makes this anime interesting is the fantasy part or fantasy-ness of this anime. To be specific, the creatures in this world. The creatures just feel so much fantastical, just feel so otherworldly. The feeling of those creatures, the system, feels so good. You truly feel that these are fantastical beings, and the reason of their existence is there. They are not just there for no reason at all. They are true creatures that evolved for a reason. Now let me give you an example. Now, there are creatures in this anime called dragons. Of course, there would be dragons, but there are different types of dragon. There is one dragon that has 6 legs. And the reason it had 6 legs because the middle 2 legs were before wings. They were the closest beings to being true dragons. But with time, those legs became legs, and they got further away from true dragons. What does that mean? I don't still know. The anime hasn't told us. And that is the thing that makes this anime interesting. The creatures, the reason of their living, the reason of why they look like what they look like right now. There is a reason behind all that. So it just seems interesting how this anime deals with the fantasticalness of these beings, their reason of being. That is why this anime is here. The story itself isn't that interesting, but I'm interested in how they deal with these creatures and how will these creatures affect the story going forward. That is why for me, this is on the 5th number. Then on the number 4, we have Jisho Akuyakureijo na Konyakusha no Kansatsukiroku. And in the name, it shows what it is. It is an Akuyakureijo anime or villainous anime. But the interesting or weird thing about this anime is that the main character isn't the one that is reincarnated into this world. The villainess isn't the main character. Parthia isn't the main character, but the main character is the one that is going to marry her in the future, the prince, Cecil Tenga. And that is how this anime differentiates itself from the other Akuyakureijo anime. And to tell you the truth, there are genuinely times when I think that Parthia should have been the main character, should have been the main hero, and should have been the person that we would be seeing the story from. Because, well, Parthia is so interesting, is so enjoyable, is so weird. Just looking at her seems so entertaining, the things she does, she's so fucking pure. And it would be just fun seeing what does she think. But I do genuinely understand why they went with Cecil, because if they went with Parthia, the story would have been too simple. Because we already would have known what is going to happen, what will happen, and we will not really be surprised by anything. Now that we are seeing everything from another character except from the reincarnated person, the story itself becomes weird and much more difficult to understand, and much more, of course, interesting because we don't know what is going through Bhartiya's mind. Why is she doing a specific thing? What would change if she did this? Cecil Tenka is thinking the same thing, and we are thinking the same thing. The thing that makes this anime good is that simply it is a good Akuyakurajo anime. But even with that, also that the main character isn't the reincarnated person but the prince. That is the interesting part about this anime. And of course, the pureness and the beautifulness of Bhartiya. That is why I genuinely think that this anime is one of the more interesting Akuyakurajo anime if you want to watch it. And I genuinely like it. Then on the number 3, we have Shunkashu to Taikosha Harunamai. Now this is also a very interesting and different anime from what we are used to. We all know that every year there comes 4 seasons, and in this anime, all 4 of these seasons are gifted or are represented by real people in this anime. And that is the thing that makes this anime interesting and of course different from many other shows there. This is truly a unique anime. The idea itself isn't that unique. It is very unique, I'm not going to deny that. There are very few other things that have done this, and still the story itself is pretty interesting. Because normally seasons are just seasons. They come when their times come. It is that simple. But people have emotions, people change, people think differently, people get depression and all that good stuff. So how will these people deal with their emotions, and how will these emotions affect the nature in this anime, and that how will that nature affect the people living? That is of course the most interesting part about this anime. But from what I have seen, this anime is pretty fucking dramatic. This anime is so dramatic that you also feel that dramaticness and it fucks you up. You also feel like that you are going to fucking die from crying. Not that much, but it does do a number on you. But will this dramaticness will be positive for this anime or will be negative for this anime? It will depend as we go on and watch more of this anime. I myself am leaning towards the positive side. But even if I don't know that, I do know that this anime is an unique and is an interesting watch, and that is the reason why it is on this number. And now it is time for the number 2, Yomi no Sakai. On my anime list, this anime does not have the fantasy category, so I was thinking should I include this or not, but there are demons and people are using their fantasy powers, so I thought why not. It is pretty fucking fantasy, so let's include it. So the first thing first, this anime is from the same creator from the Full Metal Alchemist, and that already amplifies, that already increases the expectations for this anime. And I think this anime has somewhat met the expectations. There are demons or yomi, you can say, that our characters and other people use, and our 2 main characters are special from other Yomi-sukai or Yomi users. They are the special twins that were born at the time of dawn, and one has the power to close and one has the power to open. What does that really imply? I don't fucking know. But for sure, this anime has given us for now very interesting things to look forward to. This anime at this very time hasn't done that many big things, but it has certainly made me at least interested for its future, of what it is going to do. My expectations were decently high for this anime, and it certainly met those expectations and even slightly exceeded those expectations. And I'm really interested how will this anime deals with itself in the future with the coming episodes. This is for sure one of the most interesting anime of this season. But because as we already know what is going to be the number one, why don't we first go towards the honorable mentions? Don't worry, they'll just do. First, Saikyo no Shokugo wa Yushate monaku Kenjade monaku Kanteshi Kakko Kari Rashi desu yo. Now this anime isn't good. If you don't have time to watch that many anime, you can certainly skip this anime however many times you want to. But there is only one thing that I will say about this anime. I feel like that the voice actors are having too much fun acting and recording their voices for this anime. The characters are so over the top, the voice actors are doing such a great job and having so much fun. At least I feel like they are having fun, and seeing that makes me have fun, even if the anime itself isn't good at all. Then, second honorable mention is Kuraneko to Majo no Kyoshitsu. Now this anime is certainly another one that you can easily skip, but for me, it is certainly kind of a guilty pleasure for me. In this anime, there are many unnecessary fan service scenes that they are just not needed but are just there. For me, I'm just enjoying it for whatever reason. It is stupid, it is kinda ass, but I just like it for whatever reason. If you want some cringy ass, etchy ass, stupid shit, you would kinda enjoy it if you are looking for something just to watch and not necessarily think about it that much. So those were the honorable mentions, and you know what is coming up on the first number. We all know which one is the best isekai fantasy anime of the season, and there is no denying that it is Tonkari Boshi no Atelier. You will agree that the pure production value of this anime is so much higher than any other thing. But that does not mean the story would be good. But fuck that. It is that good. The characters themselves might seem simple and genuinely are simple, but that is the thing that makes the characters in this anime so good. Other anime, when they deal with characters, the characters have only one main characteristic and they only do things depending on that characteristic. But real people have many different characteristics, don't they? And that is the same thing in Tonkari Boshi. Even if the character's main characteristic is to be shy or whatever, but that isn't the only characteristic. There are more. And that's how different things and different weird things, different complex feelings emerge. That is what makes this anime so interesting to watch. And the story itself, the fight between the good Mahotsukai and Majo is just so interesting. What are the bad witches are going to do with Coco? What they are planning? Is Coco special? Why she? What happened to Gifri-sensei? Why is he so aggressive whenever it comes to those witches? And the most interesting thing is the magic system in this anime. Because in other anime, I always feel like that the magic system do not really make sense. Every person can use magic or very few people can use magic. That does work, but magic should be a natural process like physics laws. It should be a law in this world. And that is what Tonkari Boshi does. The magic isn't that supernatural thing that only few people can do. No, every person can do it. And it makes sense why the characters are training to do that magic, training to write those circles. Because it is hard to do right, to make the perfect circle. Hard to make the perfect line that you want for the effect of the magic. It makes sense why it took them years to perfect the magic system, to perfectly use magic. In other anime, the magic system is so simple. You think, what the fuck? This will take me just some months to run perfectly. But in Tonkari Boshi, it's not like that. It will take you fucking years to perfect it. And that is the good thing about this anime. Everything is so well polished. Not just the animation is so fucking polished and so fucking beautiful. But not only that, the overall anime is polished. And that is why it was not surprising at all that Tongariboshi is on the first number. Because it fucking deserves it. So yeah, that's it. There are not that many isekai or fantasy anime this season. The out of the anime that I gave you are those are it. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you like it. Like, subscribe, and do your thing that you do. Go watch this video. That is the important part. So yeah, bye bye.